What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. You already know you tuned in to the official podcast hosted by your boy C. Blair, a.k.a. Big Blair 365. Yo, check this out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at C. Blair the God. And yo, I need you to do me a favor. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. That way, you can receive more up-to-date information like this and more content like this on a daily basis. Every subscription is greatly appreciated, and I just wanted to let you know that we greatly appreciate you guys, and thank you very much for that. Visit the website, InsideTheGrind365.com. Shop the official brand today, because you already know we make products for all. Shop the official brand. And with that being said, man, you already know what it's time to do. It's time to grind 365.
Shotgun base and hands up. Blair picking his way left side. Thompson.
Yeah, it's time to grind 365. What up, what up, what up, what up to all the party people in the place. Yo, what's going on, man? It's your boy C. Blair, a.k.a. Big Blair, and would like to thank you for tuning in to another episode of the official podcast. Man, let me get my face up in here, you know what I'm saying, one time so I can do this little introduction. What's going on, everybody? We here. Today we got a good show going on today. We're going to be talking about a program that I'm putting together specifically targeting high school seniors and their parents and families. And we're trying to help get some of these under-recruited guys noticed out here. So if you know my story and you know my son's story, we went through a lot to get him recruited, not just at a Division I level, but at a Division II level as well. Took a lot to get him to where he is, but thank God, a lot of prayers, a lot of luck, and a lot of grinding, we was able to get him secured with the scholarship full ride at South Dakota State University, where he just completed his first college football season. So shout outs to Mister for that. And so let's get him a round of applause. All right, man. So basically what we want to get into real quick with this is I just want to use some of the knowledge that I've gathered together with the help of obviously some AI and some searching on my own. And I put together a presentation for you guys, and I want to be able to put the information out there to explain the NIL structure of what's happening in college football, to give you some numbers directly just in one place so that everybody can see this. And I'm not charging for this information. It's just information that's already out there. I just put together a PowerPoint presentation so that we can follow along with it and I can explain to you the information, the best of my knowledge. Now, again, I'm not saying that I know 100% of how to get your kid recruited and signed, and I'm not guaranteeing anything to anybody, but I will guarantee that I will provide a service that will help you get into the situations that I was able to get myself into and put your kid in a better situation than maybe you didn't know. So I'm just giving you information that's out there, but giving it to you from my perspective and giving it to you in a collective spot. So it's a one-stop shop to receive this information. You don't have to go look all over the internet to receive it. And I'm going to be available to counsel people as they go through these processes, because I feel like I did gain a lot of knowledge. I've been to college for one. I've learned, the ins and outs of the transfer portal. Not all of them. I'm still learning, but I do have a strong team behind me that's helping me gather information, consisting of high school coaches, some former, some still coaching, college coaches that's willing to help out and for credibility. And so, like I say, man, we got a lot of people who involved in this behind the scenes, but it's me that's bringing it to you because this is what I wanted to do. So I just want to give back and help out and see if I can help somebody else. If it's one kid I can help, that's great. If it's 100 kids, I can help. But I do have a business plan that we'll talk about at another time. But this is pretty much explaining the structure of the NIL, and we just want to take you, from my perspective, step by step on how this process goes and some of the information that you guys need to know. So, with all that being said, let's get into it. So, man, got that out. So here we go real quick. We're going to bring up this screen right here. I thought I was bringing it up, but maybe I didn't. Okay, here we go. So remove that and bring this to the stage. All right, so here we go. Just explain to you what this information is, and we're just going to go over it and explain to you guys pretty much how this is going to work when you get your kid into this situation. Could use this as a slide reference point, but it's a little different. I think I like using it over here. So let's just stick with this one. Okay, so let me pull this up real quick, and we can get started. Okay, all right. So see the screen right here, and I'll put myself down in the little drop down corner so we can go from there. All right, let's get into what we are watching or what we are seeing on this screen. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Corey Blair. I am a father of an NCAA athlete. Just here to give you some information and some insight about the transfer portal from my perspective, based off actual information that's out there for you to go and see. All of the information that I am giving you guys has been cited and sourced. So this is not information that I just gathered in my own brain and decided to type it up. This is actual real data analysis from the 2024-2026 season with the transfer portal, which covers a little more in detail of not just football, but other sports included. So let's take a deep dive into this and let's get this show rolling. Okay, so reading this off, and I'll just explain as we go along certain key points of it, but I'm just going to read as we go on as I set up the PowerPoint. All right, so the data analytics report, let's get that right. NCAA transfer portal, tracking the college athlete movement 2024 to 2026 data analysis. All right. In this first slide, we'll be explaining the contents of this, and it's broken down into 7 sections. Sorry about that. So 1, understanding the transfer portal. Mechanism, I don't know why disregard that, regardless. All right, the mechanism, the history, and the rule changes. We'll go over number 2, market growth and scale, explosive growth across all sports. 3, we'll tap into the 2024 season deep dive, which is going to break down the record number of people that entered the transfer portal. We'll go over that and how that affected the future. Number 4, we'll be talking about the 2005 season analysis, which the continued growth and patterns that's kind of still going on going into the 2026 season, which brings us to 5. We'll be talking about the 2026 early data reporting. So that this is basically like some of the rules. One big rule that was changed that we'll talk about is the single window system. It used to be a 2-part window where you can have you can enter the portal in one part of the season, which was like right now, and then you can enter later in April or whatever. But that's all changed. That's gone, and we'll talk about that in section number 5. Part number 6, section 6, the success rates and the outcomes, and the commitment percentages and realities. So we'll get into detail about how many kids actually enter the portal, how many kids actually commit to another school, how many kids don't, how many kids withdraw. We'll cover all of that in that section under success rates and outcomes. And then 7, we'll finish off with the future outlook of what's projected to happen with the portal and just break down some of the numbers just based off the analytics, how this will trend upward or downward, and we'll go over that. So first section, understanding the portal. understanding the transfer portal, the evolution of college athlete mobility and its impact on collegiate sports. So we're going to deep dive into this real quick. So one, let's find out, what is the NCAA transfer portal? A lot of people want to know, a lot of people got questions and they want to know, like, hey, what is this? I hear about it. I want to know. My kid, he's like in the 5th grade right now, and I need information about how this works. So when his time comes or her time comes, I want to know what's going on, because, like everything, it's got glitches in the beginnings of it, and you have to figure this stuff out as you go. So if that's a question that you got and somebody else may know, you just want the information, well, this is where we're going to answer that at. So what is the NCAA transfer portal? All right, let's not hack this word up again. But the mechanism of it, the NCAA transfer portal is an outline database where student athletes can declare their intention to transfer. Once entered, their name becomes visible to coaches at other institutions, creating a centralized marketplace for talent. So, in a nutshell, this is a place where you can enter your name like a drawing pool and say, hey, I ain't comfortable with this or that and the other. Put my name in this pool. You pick it out because you like it, and we'll discuss it, and maybe I can come and play for you now. Cool. So that's the portal in a nutshell. The key milestones in this: in 2018, the portal launches as a database. All right. 2021, immediate eligibility was granted. So from 2018 to 2021, a lot changed. That's a lot. So to put that in perspective, it was just like a database. Hey, put your name in here and we'll see how it works out. And for a couple of years, that's how it worked, and whatever. 2021 came and it was like, yo, okay, well, you don't have to miss a season. You don't have to sit out or none of that. This is the rules. If you enter the portal and somebody like you and they pick you up, you can play right then and there. Boom. All right, 2024. I don't know the number how many transfers it was allowed before 2024, but as you can see in 2024, they changed it to unlimited transfers allowed. Now, that's something that I don't agree with, but that's neither here nor there. Those are the rules. All right, and the transfer windows, and this is very important. All right, each sport has a specific windows when athletes can enter the portal. Football changed from 2 windows to 1 in 2026. So pay attention to that. That's right now. So that means at the year started over January the 1st, when the portal opened up on January the 2nd through January the 12th, it's done. It ain't no more getting into the portal. You go there in the spring and hey, you're like, oh, well, I don't really like this. No, that's your contract. Your contract is valid from basically the spring until the next spring. So what that means is when you get into the portal in the spring and you transfer, well, you there. Summer school, you there. Fall ball, you there. You can't leave. Okay? It's a kid that just tried to do something like that and didn't work out for him because you just signed the contract and then you tried to enter the portal. You can't do that. All right, so y'all need to know that. Once you sign that contract in the spring now, ain't no going to play spring ball and then you don't like your chances because you ain't do nothing in the spring ball and now you know you're going to be 4th string. You can't leave. Okay? You're going to be there. And you know you're not going to play. So you might as well just become a good scout team player for your team and have some pride in that. And then you'll have to do this all over again. So understand that. All right. Now, moving from, and I'll just finish because I had to change that. So football changed from 2 windows to 1 in 2026, moving from December to April to a single January window. Okay, so we'll just explain that and why that's important. How it works. 1, the athlete notifies the compliance office. Okay, first and foremost, it's just like putting a 2 weeks notice at a job. Hey, I'm pursuing the job somewhere else. This, that, and the other. Boom, I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. That's what that is. The athlete notifies them. Notice this is the athlete, not the parent. Okay, so I'm make that clear. Parents, this is not your fight. You can only give advice as to what you think your kids should do. But that's their name on that contract. That's them. They got to sign that contract. So they have to notify people. Okay. So once they notify the compliance office, what happens next is the school enters the name within 2 days. All right. After that, the name becomes visible to the coaches. Then the recruitment process begins. Ultimately, the athlete commits to a new school, which hopefully we'll get into those numbers, and sometimes that don't go that way. All right, and the current status available across all NCAA divisions with sports specific windows. All right, so basically your current status, it'll basically show on every platform, hey, this person is in the portal, they're available. Now you can begin recruiting, talking to other coaches and stuff like that. All right, so moving forward, it's a new era of college sports, and that is the NIL impact. Everybody wants to get money. Everybody got this notion that if they transfer from the school that they at, that they're gonna go to another school and they're gonna get paid and they're gonna have plenty of money and all this other stuff. Yeah, not really true. All right, so let's just read this off and then we'll go over it. The NIL impact. Name, image, and likeness deals have transformed the portal into a true free agency system. Average portal NIL deals increased 40% from 2023 to 2024, with quarterback market values ranging from 500,000 to 2 million plus. Okay, so break that down. It went up because people got into the portal, people demand more money, and the people that's demanding the most is the quarterback. So if you're not a quarterback, don't think that you're going to jump in there and just get $2 million plus. And if you're not a top quarterback, I'm talking about your transfer rating is higher than it was when your recruiting rating. That's two other things we can talk about later. But you don't want to be jumping into the transfer portal if your transfer rating is lower than your high school recruiting rate. Some people is, and it still work out for them. But you got to understand, you're probably going to go to a lower caliber school. They may pay you more money. True. I don't know. But some of the things that you have as a perk at one place, you may not have at the next place, which those things come into fact now. We can talk about that later on. All right. So immediate eligibility. The 2021 rule change allowing immediate eligibility revolutionized college sports. Athletes can now transfer once and play immediately, removing the previous 1-year residency requirement. Impact. Transfer participation doubled within 2 years. Meaning, now they saying, hey, shit, I ain't got to sit out a year. I ain't got to live there for a whole year and then play. I can just transfer and go. Cool. That's the reason why they changed that window from 2 to 1. Meaning, you transfer, you got this spring to transfer. Once you make that decision, you're going to be here for that entire year. Ain't no more leaving in the middle of that because you done got money from this school. Then you decide to leave, and then you want to get money from this school, and it's just a mess. So that ain't happening no more. All right. And yeah, so we talked about the unlimited transfers and then boom. So now just to go over the statistics real quick, football participation growth 2 times. Basketball participation rose 40%. Overall annual transfers 15,000. That's across all college sports. Expert insight. What we're seeing is the new normal. The combination of NIL and immediate eligibility has created a true free agency period in college football. That's a quote from Max Olson from The Atlantic. And he's right. That's pretty much where it's going, and it's not going to change. It's only going to continue to be more of it. All right, so moving forward, my bad. All right, so moving forward, in this next section, we're going to talk about the market growth and scale, the explosive growth of transfer portal participation across all sports. So let's talk about it. All right, transfer portal by the numbers. In the 2024 academic year, here's the breakdown. You had undergraduates, 10,569 undergraduates, 70% of all entrants of people who entered the transfer portal. 4,500 of those are graduate students. So that's a total of 15,075 kids who entered the portal. This is across all sports. All right. Key insight: the 2024 academic year demonstrated the massive scope of an athlete movement with over 15,000 total entrants across undergraduate and graduate students, establishing the portal as a central feature of college athletics. So basically all that come down to is however many athletes it was, 15,000 of them went into the transfer portal across all sports. That was in 2024. All right. So moving forward, if you look at the historical growth trajectory, it's expected to grow exponentially. So you look at 2018, you have 1,500 kids. 19, 1,700. 20, 21. Slight decline in 21 to 22, but then boom, you can see it just started shooting back up after they changed that rule as far as how many times you can transfer in your eligibility. So once they knew you can go and transfer and still play, boom, that number went up. And now 2023, 24 went up even more. So there you can see the inflection points right here. All right, 2021, immediate eligibility rule. 2024, unlimited transfers. So you see, hey, it's a trending thing, and it looks like it's going to continue to keep trending, going upward. All right, so moving forward, I don't know who that was calling. Yeah. All right. So moving forward, let's see. Let's take a 2024 season deep dive. Check out the record-breaking numbers and key trends from the 2024 transfer cycle. All right. So look inside of this, another chart we got. We have out of the FBS, this is football season, people who entered the portal. 4,900 plus were from the FBS. 3,200 plus were from the FCS. So that gave you a number roughly of 8,100 kids entered the transfer portal. Now look at this breakdown. The Big 12 lost 650 plus kids. The SEC, these are the two biggest conferences in the FBS. All right. The SEC lost 550 plus kids. All right. Now look at the positions. Wide receivers, 650 kids gone. 600 DBs, 450 offensive linemen. That's because these are the positions that's the most highest demand. It's paying the most money other than the quarterback. See what I'm saying? So if you play receiver and you somewhere where coach wants you to be at, then you need to stay there. Or unless you got somewhere that's gonna pay you more, or and all that other stuff. We'll talk about that in another segment as far as like why should you transfer, in my opinion. But everybody got their own reasons for doing everything. So that's just a clear overview of showing you how many kids from the FBS and the FCS have entered the transfer portal 2024. All right, this is basketball. And right here, this keynote where it say, I didn't mean to move that, but the keynote say basketball leads all sports in transfer rates. So you may think, oh, well, it ain't enough kids to how, but it's per capita though. So if it's not, it's only like 15 players on the basketball team. Excuse me. 40% of all the players damn near entered the portal last year. So that's basically saying you got 10 players on your team. 4 of them gonna be gone next year. Versus a football team where like maybe 20%. So maybe 2 of your kids may be gone out of every 10 versus every 4. So you see how that works out. So basketball, they getting the hell on. And plus they probably, paying a lot more, just like NBA type deal. I don't know, but that's something we can look into later on. All right. Women's basketball, 28% of all players are leaving. Now, I wonder why. What's the trend in that? Why is it fewer women leaving the program versus the men leaving? Maybe because it's the number systems. But who knows? That's something else we can look into. But some of the key driving factors of the reason why they're leaving is one, coaching changes, NIL opportunities, and playing time desired. So coach is leaving, then you probably gonna leave because they're gonna probably bring in somebody that's gonna replace you anyway. So you probably need to go ahead and go. All right, NIL opportunities. Hey, if somebody gonna give you more money and the circumstances work out, your grades transfer and all this stuff, fine. If that's what you want to do, go get you some money. That's cool. Playing time. Well, if you're not playing and you transfer, how can you expect to go somewhere else and play if you didn't play here? So if you are playing and you feel like you can go get more playing time somewhere else, fine. It is what it is. But like I say, different strokes for different folks. Everybody got their reasons for doing what they do. All right. I'm just here to give you the breakdown of the numbers of what they chose to do. All right. So the 2025 season analysis, continued growth and evolving patterns in the transfer market, which would consist of things like football. Look how many people entered. 4,100. All right. Committed 2,800. Now you see it's the little numbers after that, but still. And withdrawn 151. So look at the percentage of that. Out of all of those kids that entered, 4,184 of them, only 67% committed to another school. 28% of them are still available. Now, this is last year, and this data is from up until the 6th of January this year. So that means these kids got into the portal last year and still ain't got picked up out the portal. And it's a whole new portal cycle that then came around. So think about that for a second. 28% still in the portal. 1,100, 1,000, almost 1,200 kids basically. All right. Withdrawn. That means they got in there and they was just like, you know what? No, I'm take my name up out of here. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Maybe the kids, coaches told them, hey, nah, if you want to stay, you good. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mind you testing the waters to see what's out there. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, so 15%, so 151 went back to the same school respectively that they was trying to transfer from. All right, so a year-over-year comparison. 2005 maintained a high volume with slight decrease from 2024's record, which obviously you had to know 2024 was that first time they was able to do a lot as far as unlimited transferring. So with this being said, I didn't expect to see 8,100 kids back into the transfer portal this year. I don't think that was going to happen. But half of that did enter. So that's still disturbing a little bit. Now, why they entering? Who knows? We'll deep dive and talk to some kids and ask them, hey, what was the reason why? But like you say, playing time, NIL opportunities, all that type of stuff do make a huge impact on the reason why they make these decisions. So moving forward, let's talk about the 2025 basketball trend, and it's continuing to trend upward. So you remember they said this is the sport with the most transfers in it, and it's going up. So it ain't stopping. It's still going on. So here you go. You got a 11.3% increase from 2024, where they had 2,083 kids, and it jumped to 2,320. 41% of all players. Okay, boom. Key transfers. Yaxel Lindenberg, University of Alabama to Michigan. All right, he was averaging 17.2 points per game, 11.4 rebounds per game. So think about that for a second. If you in the transfer portal and you thinking the transfer, this is the top transfer person, and he's averaging almost 20 points a game. If you ain't averaging that, what we doing? The next closest person went from Maryland to Tennessee, averaging almost 3 points less than this player. Doing a little more assisting and some steals, but hey, you got to have this. The top 10 recruit, the third person went from Appalachian State to Kentucky. So again, you have to be one of the top dynamic players in the nation already, respectively, at the school you at, whether it's a smaller school or a sorrier school for that matter, to get the bigger schools to come give you the money that they're giving out. So if you just thinking, oh, I'm gonna just get in because I'm just going to the transfer portal, I'm gonna get paid, that's bullshit. All right, so now you look on the women's side, 1,464 entered, 29% of all players, and consistent year and year old growth. So it's kind of like the same with them. Yeah, so then the market characteristics, 30-day transfer window, high NIL activity, conference realignment impact. So that's huge right there because a lot of these schools in the ACC, then they in the Big 12, then they in the Big 10, then they in the whatever, then they're here and they're there in the conference realignments and all that stuff. So that depends on how much money the schools get. You know what I'm saying? So if the school ain't getting a lot of money or the scheduling. Again, if you go into another conference and now your scheduling is all whacked and now it's just a lot that go in. So you got to be on top of that stuff like way before you decide to say, hey, we're gonna go. You gotta look at this stuff damn near a year or two before so that you can see a trend and a pattern of what's happening so you can make a better decision. So, like I say, I'm not here to tell you what to do, just here to show you the numbers and what's behind all of this. All right, so moving forward, we got 2026 early data. The first look at the new single window system and the early trends. So let's take a look at it. Right now, as early as January 6th this year, you have 2,335 kids that have entered the transfer portal, with 434 of them commit. That's a lot of kids still left in the transfer portal. All right. 60 of them have withdrawn their name and went back respectively to their school or just quit all above. Who knows? But that window closes January the 16th. It's January the 12th right now. So we got 4 days left before this window is done. 4 days to go. And it's almost 2,000 kids still in the portal. I want y'all to think about something for a second. It ain't like these people didn't know that they were in the portal. They've been in there. If you go look at some of these names, they've been in the portal since November. Okay. So what I'm saying is 4 days to go. School getting ready to start next week. So let's say it's Friday is when this portal gonna close. If you barely get in by Friday, that means you have to, wherever you at, you have to leave over that weekend, enroll in school and all this stuff, and be ready to start classes by next Monday morning. Come on, man. This is a lot to be going on for 2,000 and something kids, almost 2,000 kids still looking for a home. Now, by the end of the day, this number could change. I just put this together this morning. So this was the numbers at roughly around 4 o'clock this morning when I did this on January the 12th, 2026. Now it's 9:24 a.m. same day, January 12th, 2026. These numbers could have significantly changed by now. I'm not sure of that, but I will go do some fact checking and find out. But at this moment, at this video being recorded, it's almost 2,000 kids still in the transfer portal looking for a place to go. All right. Now, some of the top transfers, you might have known these names: DJ Lagway, Brandon Swarsby, and Dylan Rayola. A couple of them still in the portal. So moving forward, just the success rates and outcomes, what's going to happen for the athletes entering the portal. All right, so let's go over that real quick. The commitment success rates, 2025 commitment rate was 68%. Of 4,184 players committed, 2,835 of those found new schools. In the same breath, I want you to understand this: 40% of the FBS players did not find a new scholarship. That's a lot of players that entered and didn't come out. All right. Why? Market saturation reality. More potential entries than available scholarships. It ain't enough scholarships available for all of the kids that's in there. It's probably 4,000 people in the portal. It's probably 3,000 scholarships available. So think about that. And right now, as a 2026 early rate, 18.6% of the players that have entered the portal have found a new home. It's early, but we still only got 4 days left. And on top of this, if you don't get picked up now, it ain't no get picked up in the spring type deal. Okay, so it's over with. You're gonna have to find a job and do something unless you're just gonna pay to go to school. But not even 20% of the players that entered the portal have found a new home yet. Now, again, I expect those numbers to change a lot over the next couple of days, and we'll give a follow-up of this and just kind of give you some feedback. But as of right now, look at what's happening. 20%. That ain't good. Success factors, timing, entering the portal early, position, high demand for certain positions, film, strong performance data. Hell, if you ain't got no film, how the hell you going? That's a whole nother story. Academics, eligibility clearance. Make sure that the shit that you take in that one school can transfer to the next school. Or what you doing? You just transferring to play football? You don't plan on getting your degree? Some people don't. All right, moving forward, the reality of transferring. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to this real close because this is real. All right. FCS outcomes, 30% don't find rosters. 30% of FCS players remain unsigned. 36% move to lower divisions. D2, D3, whatever. All right. Not looking good. The human impact. Scholarship lost. How you gonna explain to these people I had a scholarship and now I don't? That's just not good. Academic disruption. Credits may not transfer. I just mentioned that. Delaying graduation. So you may transfer, but your credits don't. So now you're still fucked. All right. Mental health. The uncertainty and pressure create significant stress. Now I speak for this personally because this time last year, there was no certainty in what my kid was going to be doing with his future. The only certainty was that we were certain that we were still pursuing, trying to find him a suitable school to go to continue his education and continue playing the game that he loved to play. That was the only certainty. But there was no coaches. There was no guarantees. There was no NILs. There was no nothing at this time last year for us. So I understand what uncertainty mean and goddamn creating stress. Trust me. All right. I'm trying to give y'all this information so that if you in this situation, I'm showing you it's a way out. If you're not in this situation, we're trying to prevent certain things from occurring so that you don't find yourself behind the curve. All right. So now, expert insight, we often hear about the exciting side of the portal, but the tragic side has been less discussed. That's why I'm here. There are overwhelmingly more players than scholarships available. NCAA research. Go and look it up for yourself. Look how many scholarships that's available. Look how many people that are trying to get them. All right. So the future outlook on this. Where's the transfer portal heading next? Let's see. Key trends shaping the future. The NIL market evolution. You got 40% NIL increases. Quarterbacks making $2.5 million and more. All right. So it's going to keep growing. 15,000 probably across the board entries from the NCAA. All sports will probably keep entering. It's going to keep going up. Possession specific patterns. Certain places are going to have people that's going to leave and transfer because of that position. It's going to be a lot of receivers. It's going to be a lot of DBs. It's going to be a lot of linemen that's shifting around. Not so many quarterbacks, but if you're not playing, you can expect to see them leaving too. If they're going to pay you more, you can expect to see them leaving too. Year-round roster management. You're going to have to manage your roster damn near every single day until after damn near the 12th or the 16th or whenever it stops. Now you can just manage your roster for then and that season because your roster going to change again the next season and the next season. It just happens. All right, and then intense recruiting battles. I mean, it's just going to get out of control with the demands that these parents going to want for their children, the demands that the coaches going to want out of the children. It's just going to become a damn wild, wild west. Super teams, powerhouse programs leveraging prestige and NIL to attract elite talent, creating super teams. It's definitely going to happen, just like they did in Little League. Hey, come over here. We got nice new helmets. Hey, come over here. We got new uniforms. Come over here. We'll feed you. Come over here. Whatever. But you're going to start seeing super teams develop because people are going to say, hey, if all of us come here, you pay us this, we can guarantee you're going to win because we are the best. If you got all of us, shit, who gonna beat us? Pay us. We'll come. You're gonna see that happening. So and then the regulatory response, the talent acquisition fee proposed, and rule changes continue. So people gonna start saying, hey, listen, for me getting you this talent, I want a fee. It's gonna start happening. These agents or these parents or whoever, homeboy from the block, they're gonna say, hey man, you want that kid? I can get him. Shit, give me $10,000. Goddamn, I get him to sign to you. I mean, it's that's already happening, but it's gonna get even worse because it's gonna become legal and everybody gonna know, hey, I can do that. So, let's make it happen. All right, so moving forward, the new normal. And this is the finish off our segment. The conclusion. The NCAA portal has fundamentally transformed college athletics. With over 15,000 athletes entering annually across all sports, roster management has become a year-round strategic priority. From record-breaking 2024 numbers, 8,100 plus football players, to evolving 2026 patterns under the new single window system, one thing is clear: the portal is here to stay. Amen to that. Or maybe not. As NIL values rise and transfer rules continue to evolve, the portal will remain a defining feature of modern collegiate sports, creating both opportunities and challenges for athletes and programs alike. So, to sum that all up, there's going to continue to be 15 plus thousand kids across the NCAA, across all sports, entering the transfer portal. The commitment rate slightly below 70% is okay, but we would love to see the commitment rate go up higher, roughly into 75, 80%. We would love to see 100%, but that's not going to happen because it's a lot of people entering the portal more than its scholarships available. So if we can just get these kids somewhere where they are happy, paid, and they just want to just play, then that's what I think, that's what we should be trending more towards. And top NIL deals, 2 million plus, it's definitely going to go up. You're going to see $4 or $5 million deals, and that's just the day that we live in now, man. So, with that being said, man, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the official podcast hosted by your boy Big Blair 365, man. So, I hope that we covered a lot of information. I know it was a lot. I know that was just a lot to go over. Tried to get it in to the point where it was comprehensible, understandable, and very knowledgeable, so that if you guys got any questions, please, 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 by all means, feel free to hit me up by email. If you got any questions, comments, and concerns, You can hit me up, email insidethegrind365@gmail.com. My phone right here, computer right there. It'll pop straight up, and I'm willing to help out. I will be doing another video explaining more into detail about my management company that we're launching off. So BLAIRBOYZ Sports Management will be kicking off this year. All right. So I'm really excited about that, man. So we're going to get out here and get in the field. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get out here in the field, man. And me personally, I'm going to get out here and help these kids, man, help these parents find a home for their kid. It's not going to be easy, but I'm up for it. Not guaranteeing anything, but I will guarantee this. I will guarantee I will give you 100% of my effort to get your kid and your family in a better situation that they're in as far as the recruiting process. That's my give back, and hopefully, I can have 100% success rate. So, you know what I'm saying? The clients that I get, under my business model, I'm looking to gain 50 clients in the first year. So if I can get 50 high school seniors committed and signed to a school, then hey, or if I can help assist into that. If I can get one, I done my job. But the goal is to gain 50 clients, and the ultimate goal is to help get those first 50 signed. Division 1, Division 3, NAIA, JUCO, don't matter. Listen, we trying to get you from your mama couch to some coach practice field. All right. So there we going from under recruited to committed. This has been another official podcast brought to you by yours truly, Big Blair 365. So I'm tired. I'm getting ready to get me some rest, man. So I do again appreciate you guys tuning in. I can't say it enough, man. But that's gonna wrap up the show for today. The official podcast hosted by your boy Big Blair 365, man. And like I say, man, keep your ears to the streets, keep your eyes on me. Till the next time, man. We gonna grind 3, 6, 5. Get it.